Evening, everyone. Richard here, and welcome to tonight's broadcast. And tonight, I'm going to be giving you 5 tips for saving your time. It's actually more than 5 tips because I've got tips within the tips, so it's probably nearer to 20 or 25. But let's get cracking. So Parkinson's law. So Parkinson's law states that work will expand to fill the amount of time that is available. So with that also, responsibilities, they contract when time is limited. And you can actually increase your productivity by reducing the number of hours you work. So tip number 1. First of all, remove all the distractions that you have going on during the day. So there's a number of ways that you can do this. First of all, you can have a digital detox on your phone. If you've got an iPhone, there's in the settings there's a function called screen time, and if you activate screen time, then it will actually stop you. You can select which apps you don't want to have available to you at certain times of the day. So if you need some discipline to stop yourself from going on WhatsApp all the time and checking messages, or Facebook, or any other social media channel, then you can say, right, okay, so during the mornings I'm going to block those particular apps out of my phone, and then they won't be available to you. So that's one thing you can do. Another, we all get bombarded all the time by spam email, so just simply unsubscribe from them. Do it once, and then that will really reduce the amount of clutter that you're going to get in your inbox. Use an autoresponder. So if when anybody sends you an email, they will get an auto response saying that you're not currently available, and because you're very busy. However, you are checking emails once a day. You'll come back to them within the next 24 hours. However, if your inquiry is urgent, then I can be contacted on such and such a number, or please message me on such and such a number. So that way, that will keep you out of your inbox. You don't need to keep checking your emails all day long. Try and also remove physical distractions. So if you've got a desk, then, well, I'm sure you've got a desk, and you should have that in a dedicated work area, so that you are creating that barrier between your personal life and your work life, and make sure that your desk is kept as clear as possible, so you haven't got things laying around on your desk which they're catching you out of the corner of your eye. You're going to deal with whatever it is that's laying around on your desk rather than actually doing the more important job in hand. Limit your time on the internet, and there's a very good website called coldturkey.com, and it's free, and you can go onto that, and that, as in the same as screen time, will stop you from going on certain apps on your telephone. Coldturkey.com will make certain websites not available for you at certain times of the day, so you can set up a schedule of what you can have access to and what you can't have access to. And use voicemail or have a call answering service. So don't just automatically take calls because the phone rings. Have voicemail active on your phone. People can go through to that, and then you can call them back later. You can do all your calls at a certain time of the day, or maybe have a couple of sessions certain time of the day when you call back and return voicemail messages. Or you can have your calls diverted through to a call answering service. So that is a real human being on the other end. A lot of people don't like leaving messages on voicemail, so that's one of the downsides of voicemail. But you can have a call answering service where a real human being will actually pick up the phone, answer it on your behalf, and take a message, and then that message will then be put into an email and forwarded on to you. Track your time. If you want to save time, it's really valuable to actually know how you spend your time. So there's a number of ways to do this. First of all, Clockify. That again, free software. Yeah, you can download that, and it's then a timer that will run on your computer, and you just, when you're working, you just log all of the things that you're doing. It records the time that you're spending doing those particular tasks, and then over a period of time you can actually see how do you spend your time when you're working, and are you actually doing valuable things, or are there things that you're doing that are robbing you of your time, and you can actually eliminate those from your weekly work patterns. Do quick wins right away. So if something pops up and it can be done in 10 minutes, then just get it out of the way. Just do it. And then that's going to free up headspace then. One less thing to worry about. Clear your mind. Also record how you spend your free time as well. So it can be that there's things that you're doing repeatedly in your leisure time outside work, which you don't actually have to do, or you can combine perhaps certain things that you're doing into one section of time. So, if you're finding that you're having to go shopping twice a week, and also you're going out and you're posting letters, or you're walking the dog, or whatever, running, and then try and combine those, run down the shop, or walk the dog and do the post and do the shopping all in one hit. So yeah, record your free time as well, your leisure time, and see how you can combine. Try and avoid overwhelm as much as possible. So overwhelm is basically when you have got too much to do and not enough time to do it in. So we all find ourselves falling into that. Too little time, too much to do. The trouble with overwhelm is that it can lead to paralysis. So you end up not doing the right things, not doing anything at all because you've got confusion, you've got this overwhelm going on in your head. And of course, that then multiplies because you're not doing what you should be doing, making the decisions that you need to be making. It's just snowballing. And so you need to really make sure that you can remove the overwhelm. So some of the ways to do that. So first of all, don't multitask. Don't make sure that when you start something, you work on that until it's finished, and then you move on to the next thing. A lot of people think that multitasking is good, but it's not. Once you come away from a task and you go and do something else, then when you go back to it, it takes you time, a waste of time, just to be able to get back into the flow again and pick up where you left off. So don't multitask. Learn to say no. So if people, don't be over helpful. If people are robbing you of your time by asking you to do things for them so that they can save their time, learn to say no. Obviously, that might depend on who's doing the asking. I don't want to fill the divorce courts up here, but so it does depend on who's doing the asking. But if people are just asking you for favors all the time, and all they're doing is trying to offload onto you, then do learn to say no to those people. Remove decision fatigue. So this is quite an important one here. Making decisions actually does drain us of our energy. So there's ways of actually removing the number of decisions. You really need to reduce down the number of decisions that you need to actually make in a day. So the way to do that, so you can delegate. So if there are decisions that people are coming to you to make decisions, and you feel that it actually doesn't need to be you, then delegate it back out. Let other people make those decisions for you. If you need to make decisions, try and do them in the morning, early on in the day. So again, most people are actually at their best in the morning. That's when a lot of people are fresh. So you'll probably make better decisions in the morning. But also then you've released it, you've done it, you can let go of that. It's one less thing to worry about, and you can start focusing on the more important things in hand. If you have decisions to make, set deadlines. So decisions that don't need to be made now, don't make them now. If it's a decision that can be made in 2 weeks' time, then just park it. make that decision then. If they're simple decisions and they're quick, again, quick wins. So those you can make straight away and then get rid of them. But the bigger decisions, park those and leave them to the last minute. Have fun with what you're doing. Okay, so don't. Obviously, business is serious, life is serious, but try and have a bit of fun with it as well. Have a bit of play with what you're doing. And finally, on this one, meditate. So meditation is clearing the mind. Okay, so meditation is not it's not removing thoughts. It's not making decisions. It's learning to sit with what's going on in your head and observe what's going on in your head. So meditation, it doesn't have to be a long session. You don't have to. I recommend meditating if you can once a day. But there's various different meditation practices that you can do. Body scans, breathing exercises. There's a couple of great apps. One is called Calm. Another one is called Headspace. If you've not meditated before, download those. They give you guided meditations. But it is just a way of clearing your mind, stopping the constant racing and bombardment of thoughts that often can be spinning around in your head. Tip number 4, plan ahead. It's really good to create a routine. So if there are things that you need to do on a regular basis, maybe on a daily basis, then set out a routine for yourself. So we just talked about meditation. So choose a time each day when you're going to be doing your meditation. It may be that you like to study the newspapers. Personally, my advice actually would be try and remove yourself from the news. I spend very little time worrying about the news. These are things that are going on in the world. I have to know something, but normally the news, what's going on in the world gets talked about. So other people are going to inform me of that. I actually don't read the newspapers, and I don't spend too much time watching the news. I have no control over what's going on. So create the routine. So time to meditate. If you do want to read the newspapers, time to do that. Reading a book. I read lots and lots of books, so schedule some time for that. And that's really good to just schedule maybe 10 pages a day, 20 pages a day. So it doesn't have to be a long session. If you schedule in time to do 10 or 20 pages in a day, then each day you're going to start working your way through your books. You can also improve the speed that you read at as well by when you are reading, actually trace the line with your finger, and that will keep your eye focus, and it will actually speed up the amount of time it takes you to read a page. Another tip here to increase the speed you read at is to start reading the line 2 or 3 words in and finish reading the line 2 or 3 words before you get to the end. Your peripheral vision will pick up those extra words, and as you improve, you can actually reduce the amount of time, the part of the line which you actually start reading at. So there's a couple of tips there. Create the routine. So reading, meditation, exercise. If you should obviously get some daily exercise in, so schedule that out, have that in your diary. So schedule it all out, create that routine, and put it in your calendar, so that you've got it down there every single day. It's not just the to-do tasks, but your regular things, your routine is all there in your calendar. I've said this before, plan your week on a Sunday. Really good day to start planning. So on a Sunday, spend an hour or so just reviewing everything that you've done in the previous week, thinking about what you've got to do for the following week, and then plan all that out. So I would recommend using Trello to plan this work out, to plan your schedule out. So you can create your to-do lists and your routine, regular things on a Trello board. I've got a separate video in the library, which you can see where I give a demonstration on how to actually use Trello. Set deadlines. So when you list everything out, schedule it all out on Trello, and then set the deadline for when that's got to be completed by. And then you can link Trello to your calendar. So again, in my video, I explain how to do that in a previous video. But it will directly link into your calendar. So you schedule everything out on Trello, what you've got to do, set your due by dates and everything, and then that will sync up with your calendar. So you've got it then on your phone. If you take a picture of the QR code there on the left, that will take you to the Trello sign up page. It's free. You get away with the free version, so you can sign up there. And then this next one, this is a real game changer. Use Acuity to allow other people to make appointments. So your clients, people that you do business with, people that you deal with, rather than people ringing you and, oh, hang on, I just need to get back to you, and comparing, when are you busy? When am I busy? All that takes time. So having an online Acuity schedule, people can go to that, they can see what your availability is, and then they can book the time in with you. So scan the QR code there, and that will take you to the Acuity page to sign up. And Acuity also links up with Zoom, so people can book Zoom meetings with you. If you're a mentor or you charge for your time in any way, then it links up with Stripe as well. So people can, if they're booking appointments with you, paid appointments, then you can actually take the money. You can put forms into Acuity as well. So if you need to get some information from them when they make the appointment, then you can create a form, an online form, which people can complete when they make their appointment. So really, that really is game-changing, Acuity. I really do recommend it. And then finally, tip number 5, delegate to elevate. So there's a quote by Brad Sugars, who is runs a worldwide mentoring company called Action Coach, and he's also a prolific property investor. And he has a quote that says, "Not employing somebody in your business is costing you a fortune." So really do delegate out what you either what you don't have to do yourself, or what you don't want to do yourself. So there are certain things that you may do because you enjoy doing them. Fine, that's absolutely fine. But if there's anything that you're doing that you don't have to do, or you don't want to do yourself, then delegate it out. Get somebody else to do it for you. And that can be delegated to other people within your team, if you've got a team. Things like the call answering that we spoke about earlier. If you are involved in property, if it's cleaning, if it's property maintenance tasks, and you're doing all those things yourself, then get somebody else, get a property manager, get cleaners on board to actually be doing those things yourself. For the admin side, get a virtual assistant. So a virtual assistant can either be based in the UK or overseas. But get a virtual assistant to be doing the things that you don't really have to do yourself. So our virtual assistants, we recruit our VAs from the Philippines, and you get much more value for money by having admin people, virtual assistants working from the Philippines. But do delegate out as much as you possibly can. That is just such a game changer. With my businesses, I just would not be able to do the things that I do if I didn't have VAs working for me. And also the other thing with VAs is that a lot of the stuff, they are going to do it a lot better than you. So if you're doing your own bookkeeping, get a virtual assistant that's a trained bookkeeper to actually do it for you for a fraction of the price. Social media, get your virtual assistant can do social media posting, do your social media marketing, email campaigns, all these types of things you can delegate out to a virtual assistant. So once you have delegated, delegate it out and let go. Okay, so focus on the outcome. Explain what the outcome is. What is it you actually want to achieve from the task? Don't micromanage people. Let people work their own way. Delegate and then let go of it. And then you don't need to then have that clutter going on in your head. You don't need to look at it again until the task is complete, or if they need some more information from you, any more details, any clarity. But you can let go of it, get it out of your head until the task is completed, and then you can sign it off. As I said, focus on outcomes. Don't micromanage. Don't tell people how to do their job. Everybody works differently. So if you've got a virtual assistant, let them work their own way to do the actual task. So they're my 5 top tips. I hope you found those useful. If you'd like to find out more about recruiting a virtual assistant, then go to scan the QR code there on the left and go to my website. There's lots of information, lots of details on there. We've got a free downloadable guide, which gives you lots of information and tips on recruiting a virtual assistant. Talk about software as well on there. So lots of information on the website. And if you'd like to book a call with me, if you want to find out more about how we may be able to help you, then the QR code on the right here, that will give you access to my Acuity online calendar, so you can book in a Zoom call with me, and I'd be pleased to have a chat. I hope you have found this interesting, so please do subscribe to the channel. Share it with anybody else as well who you think may be of interest. These videos may be of interest to. And if you click the bell at the top on the right hand side, click the bell, notifications bell, and then you'll get notifications when I'm back online. When I'm back online with either a new live broadcast or a new video has been uploaded. Mr. Practical, thank you very much for your comments there. I'm pleased that you have enjoyed it. Yeah, please do subscribe, and I'll be back on Friday at 6 o'clock with another edition. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.